Chapter 8, Door to Door. And look, I have a friend who's going to listen to our story today. When we got to school the next morning, it was just like any other day, except that it was completely different. Mr. Cooper was on the phone yelling at somebody. "I told you we need 1,000 toilet seats," he hollered, "and we need them now." While Mr. Cooper was arguing, Andrea had on her worried face. "What's the matter with you?" I asked her. "Did your clog dancing lesson get canceled?" "No," she said. "I'm worried that Mr. Cooper is going overboard with this toilet seat thing." "He's falling out of a boat?" I asked. "What do boats have to do with toilet seats? I didn't even see a boat anywhere." "No," said Andrea. "Can't you see? Mr. Cooper doesn't pay any attention to teaching anymore. I asked him if we were going to work on our spelling today, and he said we would spend the whole day selling toilet seats." "Good," I told Andrea. "Why do we need to know how to spell if we can make bazillions selling party poopers?" "Bazillions is not a real number, Arlo," Andrea huffed. I was going to say something mean to her, but that's when Mrs. Master came rolling into the class on her hoverboard lawnmower. "Sorry I'm late," she said. "I was working on my next invention. It's a smoke detector that stops beeping when you shout, 'I'm just cooking bacon.'" "That's a great idea, Grandma," said Alexia. Mr. Cooper finished his phone call and told us the factory promised they would deliver 500 toilet seats on Monday and another 500 a few days later. "Yay!" everybody shouted. "Great," said Mrs. Master. "Now it's time for us to tell the world about our new product. Word of mouth is the best advertising, so we're going to go out in the street selling party poopers door to door." "Is Mr. Klutz okay with us doing this during school hours?" asked Emily. "Sure he is," said Mrs. Master. "He's a part owner of our company, remember?" It was cool to leave school in the middle of the day. Mrs. Master and Mr. Cooper were the line leaders. We walked 1,100,000 miles until we got to a street with a bunch of houses on it. "Okay," said Mrs. Master when we stopped at the first house. "You kids ring the doorbell and see if you can sell this family a party pooper." We ran up the steps. Ryan rang the bell. I held the party pooper prototype. A lady came to the door. "Do you want to buy a toilet seat?" we all yelled. The lady screamed, "Get out!" she hollered. Then she slammed the door in our faces. We all went running back down the steps. That lady was mean. Mrs. Master told us not to be discouraged. We walked to the next house, and this time we decided to just have one of us make the sales pitch. Ryan rang the bell, and a man came to the door. "Excuse me, sir," Ryan said. "Do you want to buy a toilet seat?" "No, thank you," the man replied. "It's just $99.99, said Neil. "That's a penny less than $100. "I don't care how much it costs," the man replied. "I don't need a new toilet seat." "Oh, okay." We went back down the steps. At least the guy didn't yell at us. "You're doing great," Mrs. Master told us when we got back to the sidewalk. "If at first you don't succeed, try again." Andrea said she wanted a turn. We walked to the next house. Ryan rang the bell. A lady came to the door. "Excuse me, ma'am, do you want to buy a toilet seat?" Andrea asked. "I already have a toilet seat," the lady replied. "Not like this one," Andrea told her. "It's heated, and it glows in the dark so you can see it at night. And it talks. You can even have a conversation with it." "My name is Party Pooper," the toilet seat said. "I'm your friend." "That's creepy," the lady said. "I don't want to have a conversation with my toilet seat." "I am sorry you think I am creepy," said Party Pooper. "Perhaps things will be better tomorrow." "You can turn off the voice if you want to," Andrea told the lady. "No, thanks." We all put on our best puppy dog faces, because that usually works when you want something from a grown-up. "Please, please, 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 please," we all begged. You can't miss when you put on a puppy dog face and say, "Please, please, 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 please." "How much does it cost?" the lady asked. $99.99, we all said. $100 for a toilet seat?" said the lady. "Forget it." She closed the door. Emily started crying. Of course. We went to a bunch of other houses after that. Nobody wanted to buy a party pooper. Bummer in the summer. Don't feel bad, Mrs. Master told us. I've been rejected 1,000,000 times. It felt even longer walking the 1,000,000 miles back to school. Mr. Klutz was waiting for us at the front door. So, how many toilet seats did you sell? He asked. 1,000? No, we replied. 100? Not exactly. Well, how many did you sell? Asked Mr. Klutz. None, I admitted. It was the worst day of my life.